What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. If you are new here, I've been reselling for over 2 years now, and I'm building a business that is perfect for my lifestyle. And I want to help you grow and do exactly the same if that's what you want to do too. Now, today we're talking about week 106 since I started reselling. And the real big topic that I want to touch on today is the question that I keep getting asked is, can we have an update on your storage unit? Now, that could mean a whole bunch of different little things. So I'm actually going to be giving you an update on the storage unit today, but also talking about how I leverage the storage unit for my business. And what does that even look like? So today I'll be touching on a number of different things. One, how did I get here in the first place if you don't know the story? Number two will be, what is the cost of the storage unit? What goes into that? And then the third point will be the benefit of actually having the storage unit. Now, if you do stick around after that, I will be diving into the progress updates for this week of reselling and the business. And also I'll be giving you a little bit of insight behind the scenes and what I've actually been doing and working in the business. So if you do have questions, comments along the way, chuck them down below. And I really do appreciate you being here. Let's get into it. So how did I even get here in the first place? Well, going back to the 7th of October in 2022, I basically had gotten to myself into a sticky situation where I had been purchasing a lot more extra stock because the business was growing and I'm wanting to grow the business. And in order to do that, I needed to be able to sell more items. But at the same time, I was running out of space at home. I'd been operating the business from home, and I was also getting in the way of myself, meaning productivity to execute was actually quite a challenge because I just didn't have a good workflow, didn't have a good workspace. I had to keep setting things up, packing things up to be able to do different tasks within the business. And it just wasn't making sense. And after a whole bunch of different options, there was a plan A, there was a plan B. This actually was where plan C came into part, which was I needed to get more space. I needed to find more space and I needed to make this work. And what really got me over the edge was I then had the opportunity, which I'm super grateful for, to purchase someone else's storage unit. I didn't take their storage unit, but I could take all their stock from it. And that was around 10,000 media items. So a big bulk lot. And that meant now I need to get some more space. So that made me jump into getting a storage unit. Now I've been doing the business for 2 years. It was probably only about 18 months at that point in time. It was a bit of a scary idea, a bit of a weird idea. Had I thought about doing it in the long run? Not exactly, but it just made sense. I ran the numbers, and that's what we're going to talk about now. How much is this costing me? How is it looking like? What are those details? So I'll be frank, it cost me $500 a month. This is a storage unit that is a 6x3, might be slightly a little bit bigger than that. It is on the first floor of a building, meaning I have to go up an elevator to get in. I also have power, and I have the ability to run power from it. That doesn't cost any extra. That's just built into the price. And currently I've only spent $1,500 in this storage unit because I got 1 month free, and we've been here for about, I think it's 106 days, well, more than 90 days by this time. Now, as I said, it cost me $500 a month, spent $1,500 to date so far on it. And also there is about 15 minutes travel time to get there and then 15 minutes to get back from home. So that has to be taken into consideration as well. So that's the cost of it, right? Of course, there was a cost of moving in. There was a cost of buying supplies, such as new tables and shelving and things like that to set it all up. But that's, it's not an ongoing cost anymore. So what you're probably wanting to know is like, well, how is it tracking? How is the benefit, or what is the benefit of having this storage unit? So to give you some numbers, pre-storage unit, my average postage day and productivity was this. I was doing on average around 20 items and taking about 1.5 hours to pick, pack, and prep post for these items. So it was about 13.3 items per hour. Basically costing me around 25.4 hours a month to pick, pack, and post prep. And there was about $37 there in fuel of going to the post office and back. It was a lot closer too. Since then, having a storage unit, my average items now that I send, when I do send, is around 25.5 items, and it takes me about 1.29 hours to do, or basically 20.2 items per hour. So there's a nice little increase there, as you can see. And I've got a bit of a dashboard here that I can show you up on screen as well. So basically means that it now costs me 20.4 hours a month to actually do all this work, and it cost me $537. The fuels basically works out almost the same, to be honest, and that's because fuel prices have changed and things like that. But so essentially it's cost me $500 to save about 10.8 hours every month, or 2.5 hours a week. Now, let's get into a bit more of the juicy numbers. So pre-storage, my running average profit per hour, meaning how much I was earning in profit per hour from all my work, was around $51.41. My latest, which is obviously, about 106 days later, I'm now averaging a rolling average of $77.43 or $77.50 per hour, profit per hour. So that's increased by a good $26. Now, this 10 hours of extra time per month has given me that opportunity to create $835 more each month. And of course, I have to go do the work. I can use that time how I want to, right? So how have those numbers actually progressed? Well, 14 weeks pre-storage, my average week was $1,600 in revenue, $752 in gross profit, and 57 sales. Now, and not all of this is one-to-one ratio due to the storage unit. I'll be honest, I've changed the way I'm doing certain things in terms of certain products, but I've also got more time, so I'm able to apply how I operate a little differently as well. But essentially now I've been doing, since having the storage unit, my average week is now $1,900 in revenue, and my profit is, this is gross profit, not net profit, is $979, and sales actually is 55. Less sales, which means I'm doing a higher ASP. So better revenue, better profit, but less sales. Now that's okay. Why? You're probably thinking around the sales. Well, I've been spending the saved time doing new sourcing and changing how I'm doing my stock. And if you've been following along for a while, and I show this usually in the behind the scenes at the end of these videos, is I've been adding in new higher value stock to my store. So when I got that DVD media lot, a lot of these were $10 to $20 DVDs. There was a lot in there that was a lot more as well. But, they were low ticket items to just bolster the store so I could batch ahead while I was getting everything set up. But now I've been able to spend that time, that saved time, to do more things in the unit, batch my time better, and also put in better stock into the store as well, because I can now source it. I can now spend the time listing it, photographing it, learning that process, and it's starting to show. You can see it in the numbers for yourself. I mean, it's your word against mine, but you can see the numbers for yourself. So since I've had the storage unit, I've done 850 sales roughly. After paying around $1,500 and getting 1 month free, basically works out to be about $1.70 per each item sold to have the storage unit. So the storage unit takes about $1.70 per item. Now this ain't too bad, right? With low cost items, it doesn't make sense. With the DVDs, it doesn't make sense, right? Because if I was just doing pure DVDs, which, the average DVD sale now is probably $15, it wouldn't be worth it, because if I'm sending them untracked, there's about $3.30 max, or maybe $2.40, somewhere around there. And then you've got the cost of the good, which was only like 28 cents or whatever. But then you got fees. So it doesn't really leave a lot of room for profit on those smaller DVDs. But for an ASP of maybe $31 and my average profit being around that $10 to $13 mark, the $1.70 actually is catered for. If I can continue to do $10 profit items, and that already covers all my costs, storage unit, fees, expenses, and postage, well then it's actually not too bad. And I'm going to back this up. I'm going to show you how this actually has impacted my payouts and how it's impacted my profitability. So as you can see up on screen here, profitability, yes, it is down because there's more costs going out, but I'm still profitable, and I'm actually still maintaining a pretty good average of around a net profit of around 39.46%. That's net profit. That's after fees, allocation of tax, it's after costs, it's after adding additional storage things, all that jazz. 39%, which ain't too bad. And I've actually been spending a lot more on stock than storage, and I'm still managing to be profitable. Of course, the way I do this calculation is this is profit after cost of goods sold, not from outgoings and income based on a cash flow standpoint. This is purely based on how the end of year would be tracked from a financial year perspective. Now, in terms of my owner's pay, nothing has actually changed. I'm actually still paying myself exactly the same, if not a little bit more, because the store output has started to increase, but I pay myself 42% from my eBay payout. So if I have a really good week, I get a little bit more. If I have a really bad week, I get a little bit less. If 42%, I follow the profit first system. You can go check out this video if you want to see more on that. So there's actually no correlation to the storage unit and my payout. If I'm selling more, which I am, I'm selling, a percentage increase more than what I was doing before having the storage unit. Well, I'm obviously getting a little bit more back in my pocket. But what I have done is I've updated my profit first allocation system, meaning each week when I get my payout from eBay, I'm putting 9% aside weekly, which is covering my storage unit and also covering, some mobile phone expenses and things like that. So the beauty is the storage unit's paid by the business, and my mobile phone now, because I use it pretty much 80% of it is for business, is also paid by the business as well. So again, just for full transparency, average payout since the storage unit is $1,520 on average per week, going into, coming from eBay. And then my weekly average payout is around $638, and about $148, not of the $638, but $148 of the $1,520 goes towards the storage unit, which after 4 weeks, basically gives me a good little buffer of about $100, because it's $500 for the storage unit and my phone bill is currently $38. So it works out pretty good. Sorry, my phone bill is actually $58. So yeah, there's a little bit of a wiggle room buffer there. And this is how I leverage my storage unit. And this is how I use it for my business. And this is how it's helping me, I guess, enable more time for myself, but also more time for opportunity and a chance to spend that time to help the business grow. Now, if you've been following along, I'm been really pushing the implementation of adding clothes to my store, jeans, clothing, and really elevating my store in that sense. So I see more growth coming from this, right? If you're asking what is next, where does this go, what's happening from here? One of the big questions I keep getting is, will I need another storage unit? Well, possibly yes. If I keep scaling, I'm going to need more space. How I intend to handle that is I don't want to go too early, and I want to make sure I'm maximizing space. So before I can actually start doing that is I'm going to be doing a bit of a culling of my dead stock in the store, moving things out, doing discounts, getting rid of stuff that just doesn't make sense and things that I wouldn't be picking up in the, that I wouldn't be picking up in the future based on past lessons and things like that. I've been talking about this in my, behind the scenes for a few episodes now. So I'm going to start to do that and make more room for the clothing. And then I'll see how long I can hold that out for. And then as it makes sense, I'll transition into another storage unit, or a smaller one, or whatever it may mean. Now, if you remember, if you've been following along for a while, one of my FY23 goals, and we're halfway through FY23 now, was to actually see if I can get some paid hands on the books. Now, my time value has gone up and I'm actually getting a bit better cash flow running through. So I've started to run some numbers on how I can get some hands to come into the business and help, whether it's helping do some of the listings, doing some of the photos and things like that. So that is actually the next step now to helping my business grow. And that will be the next step of leverage of what I'll be using to help grow the business. More information on that soon. I don't have all the details on that just yet, but it's very soon, like sooner than you think. And that is essentially the update on the storage unit. So in short, was it a good decision? 100%. It hasn't really impacted me from a dollar perspective because cash flow is how I'm paying myself. In terms of productivity, stress, and being able to get things done, that is a charm. Would I be recommending people to go out and buy a storage unit? Yes and no. I mean, you got to play it into your numbers. You got to understand, does it make sense for you? If you can operate from home and you've got the space, by all means do it. But, I still live at home with my folks, it doesn't work in that sense. You need to understand what your working situation is. And if I get a question around, how do I live off that pay? Well, on average per month, I'm bringing in around $2,500. And that's just purely from the reselling or the business. And I have a few other different income sources, whether it's from shares. I have my rental property, I have 2 rental properties, and I also have a few other little side hustles on the side, which do bring in some extra bread and butter. But essentially, it's not like I'm living a luxurious lifestyle. I don't have to worry about paying or providing for a family, and there's some overhead costs there which are non-existent. But I'm doing this in a way where I'm trying to do it lean, mean, and green, because I want to make sure that I'm being able to just hustle down, and then when those additional expenses come, I'll be able to incorporate that into the business. All right, let's dive over to the progress for week 106, and I'll show you all the details, how we've progressed, and then we'll jump into some behind the scenes. So what's been selling this week? Well, it's actually been a pretty good week. Can't complain. Again, I've done over $2,000, which is, I think, my longest record now of back-to-back weeks of doing over $2,000. So pretty happy with this. In terms of top items that have been selling, top item number 1 for this week was this Star Wars Clone Wars ATTE. Now this one I picked up, I actually think I paid $4 for it. It was in a big bundle and they chucked it in for free, but the average cost of it worked out to be about $4. There were parts missing on this one. I've been able to sell it for $100, and after fees and postage, I've walked away with around $64.50 back into my pocket. Top item number 2 for this week, pretty cool, from this bulk lot of clothing that I've been working through. This one's called Pendleton, and it was a long sleeve, pure virgin wool vintage kind of shirt, and this one actually has gone overseas. Now I paid about $12 for this. I've sold it for $97.20. That includes postage to overseas. I think I went to the UK, and I've walked away with about $54.19 back into my pocket after fees and postage. So pretty good on this one if you can be on the lookout for it. Top item number 3 for this week was the Art of TSR Jigsaw 1500 piece, and this one was from 1997. Now fortunately, I had actually mum, she actually completed this puzzle to make sure everything was there, and it was. Be on the lookout for these puzzles, because these puzzles do really well if they are complete. I paid $4.50 for this one, and I listed it, sold it for $85 in less than 12 hours, with $51.63 back into my pocket after fees and postage. And top item number 4 for this week, I've got the Levi Women's Ribcage Wide Leg. Now this one I'd never heard of. As you just heard from me, I said ribcage, and it's called Jolly Thorax Jam, which was, I have no idea, but apparently they're a very particular type of Levi jeans. I paid $10.52 for these ones, sold them for $60 and walked away with $27.84 after fees and postage. So not too bad. It's been a pretty solid week. Now in terms of what actually has been selling, you can see here for yourself. Books have actually been back up there this week, 20 sales of books, bringing in majority of the revenue. However, I've been selling Lego, been selling toys, DVDs, clothes. Now again, I wanted to reiterate that I haven't been really doing a lot of clothes and jeans until, the last 6 weeks. And as you can see here, they've added an extra $185 from clothes and $177 from jeans. So by trying new categories, it's actually lifting up my store in terms of sales volume and opportunity. So very encouraging to see this one. Well, to see this happening, of course. Now, in terms of how we actually went for week 106, well, we did a total of 71 sales. Margin was around 46%. Cost of goods, $213, and we've sold $2,103 worth. Profit being $977, which is, I'm not complaining. Again, this is a gross profit and not a net profit. In terms of ASP, we had $29.62 per sale, and average cycle time was actually $101. So I've still been moving out quite a lot of items that are older than that 90-day cycle. I have been going through the process of doing a lot of relists and sell similars, and starting that culling process begins this coming week. And that is how week 106 has been. Let's dive into some show and tell. Good morning, team. It is Monday morning, just here at the storage unit. We've got Carla hanging out, just chilling. She's going to be chilling today. I'm going to be listing a whole bunch of jeans and some shirts, and I've actually got another box of shirts in here as well. So doing this today, and yeah, then I'm going to be packing, I think it's 41 items now. So it's going to be a busy day. It is, did I say it was Monday? It's actually Tuesday. It's actually Tuesday today. I was away yesterday, so I'm in Monday mindset, but it's actually Tuesday. That's funny. All right, let's get into it. All right, team, this is all done. We've got a tub here and we've got a tub here. We have done a total of 20 items, taking 1 hour, 14 minutes and 46 seconds. A few different things here that I haven't done before. Some wool jackets and shirts, so they're a bit bulky. This still has to be rearranged. Those boxes still have not arrived, which is very, very frustrating. Anyway, we're going to pick, pack and post now. Let's do it. All right, team. We have got everything out. There's about 44 packages here. It's probably actually about 42 because there's something which is in my old skewing system still at home, and they've paid when I've gotten here, so that won't go out till Thursday. But as you can see, there's quite a lot going here. We've got lots of clothes going out since I've been starting to do these, so that's all new opportunity to the store. We've got lots of books going out. These two just sold before. They went for 80. Lots of media. I'm not going to take you through everything, guys. We've got Door Explorer, we've got the other Danielle Steel box going out, some toys, some Lego, lots of Lego actually. This fella, Got some shoes going out. They went for 400. Bit of a story to that one. This one went for $99. This guy's going for $49. Got some more shorts. Tomb Raider's going out. Yeah, there's lots, and there's a Tolkien book too. So time to get packing. It's taken 15 minutes to get it all out. Howdy team, Thursday here today, and we're kicking off my session here in the storage unit, doing a whole bunch of shorts. As you can see, there's quite a lot of Adidas, and then I've got a couple of jeans and shirts in here as well. So I'm going to get started on these today. I'm going to do some timing, and Carla's just hanging out, and yeah, we'll get it all happening. See how much we can do in how long. Alright team, all the shorts are done. Boom, boom. And it's taken 1 hour and 1 minute and 34 seconds to do 22. Quickest one was 2:08. So getting a bit faster with these shorts. Now I'm just going to finish off with a couple of pair of jeans and shirts, and then I'm going to start picking, packing and posting. This video is sponsored. No, I'm just joking. Just having some garlic nuts. So here's all the items that we have sold for between Tuesday and Thursday, right? Yeah. Because we're here Tuesday. Excuse the munch. We've got this guy going out for $100, not complete. We got the big bundle of these guys. I've sold these before. They've gone out for $45. We've got some Lego miners going out. We've got a Pokemon Pokedex bundle of Anne McCaffrey books going out here. I do have to don't drop your books when you're trying to sell them, guys. Do have to double check that one. Sweeney and Sweeney 2. Australian Antiques, that's the same book that I got at the same time when Carla got a Bush Tucker one. Got some jeans, some Lego. This puzzle went for $85 within about 12 hours. Actually, not even 12 hours, 6 hours of being listed. Got a bundle of CDs going out. Also have Charms going out. Bundle of Lego going out. I think this is The Sound and Fury. Some Yu-Gi-Oh! VHS over there as well. So pretty cool. We're going to pack it all up. I think there was about 26 items. So there you go. Not too bad. I'm pretty happy with how the week has progressed. I'm also very happy how the storage unit has progressed. If you've got more questions on this, if you're curious about it, more than happy to answer any questions. Not trying to hide anything here, trying to be as open book as possible. Definitely one of the better decisions that I've made. Very scary decision, but it's working for me. Again, this is not a video to say you need a storage unit to grow your business. It doesn't make sense. And you know, that's not what I'm recommending, and that's not what I'm suggesting, and that's not my advice. My suggestion is understand what you're doing, understand what you want, understand where you're going, and then run the numbers. If you can afford it, if it makes sense, if you've got the cash flow, it might make sense. But you know, you got to incorporate travel time, you got to incorporate effort, you got to incorporate setup fees, you got to incorporate, you know, what does that look like to your business model? And it's different for everyone. Appreciate you being here. You have a wonderful day. Cheers.